Oh man. Hey, good afternoon, guys. I'll get this camera right. This KB5 MIQ big boy. Got a little video here we're gonna do today. First off, I want to give a shout. Okay, I'm on Ham Radio Cat, since you're right here in the middle of everything. Come here, girl. Oh, get up here. Give a shout out to N5JTX Trace. Hey, I'm Radio Cat. Let everybody get a good look at you. Trace is one of our local hams. He a real big supporter of the Freedom Link group, Skywarn, Meshtastic efforts that's going on in our area. And Trace stuff sent me some shack pics and some info of his equipment. And there was a lot of pics and a lot of info, so I collaged it in about 3 different sets of pictures, so they'll be at the end of the video. Trace, great asset to the local ham community up here in Northeast Texas. N5JTX Trace, thank you for sending them. I appreciate it. Guys, I'll try to come up with video material for y'all, and sometimes these videos just write themselves. Um, I'm I made a mistake, and I'm not too big to admit I made a mistake, and I made a mistake on advice I've given y'all in the past. You see in the back here all these manuals that's stacked up. Every one of these have got manuals, pamphlets of gear that I have bought. Inside here, even the small like stuff that comes with talkies, antennas, I save everything. Okay, because personally, I don't like to work with a tablet. I like to have a manual in front of me. Now, having said all that, I goofed up. I made a major goof up, and being a boomer, not used to, you know, and a man that's, men don't like to take directions. I made a mistake. Jeff and I were talking about this morning because he helped me with a radio check. I'm going to tell you all about here in just a minute. In fact, I'm going to tell you a little story on Jeff. Jeff's one of my oldest friends. Think the world of him. Worked with him for 35 years, and he does. Let me clarify what I'm about to say. Me and him worked as machinists for all our career at the depot, so we had to read manuals, TMs, and what the depot called DMWRs, depot maintenance work requirements. We were machinists. We had to look up wear limits, thread sizes, repairs, what we could do to these parts. So we've done this. We've read manuals daily in our career. I was in the military for 23 years. I used manuals training people, plus putting radios and equipment in place, generators, all that. So I'm well versed in reading manuals. But both of us, being boomers and men, will not read one sometimes when we probably, excuse me, should have. I told Jeff I was going to share this story on him, then I'm going to tell you my mistake. Back in 2000, we had a major power failure in our area. The whole grid, this whole area, 4 states area, was down here in Northeast Texas, Arkansas, Southeast Oklahoma. And personally, I was out 12 days. I think they was out about 12 days. Some people was out as high as 30. Of course, everybody's running out buying a generator. And Jeff and myself both bought one. And what you was getting at the time was them little Tecumseh engine 5,000 watt generators. Depending on what name was on them, they were all basically the same generator. Well, Jeff and his brother-in-law went and bought him one. Jeff unloaded his brother-in-law's his house. Jeff went to his house. He said, "Big boy, I was cold. I've worked on lawnmowers all my life. I put oil and gas in it. I set the box on fire with instructions in it where I could get warm up while I was trying to crank this thing. Well, mine wouldn't crank. Or my brother-in-law's fire up. He come over there. What's the matter, Jeff? I don't know. This thing ain't something wrong. Ain't no good. He said, well, did you rock it back and forth when you filled it up with oil to get the oil sensor covered? Because the book says they won't crank. Jeff said, yeah, I did that. I'll work on it. His brother-in-law left. He said, I rocked it back and forth, fired right up. Didn't read the book. All right. Now I'm going to correlate that to this story. And thank you, Jeff, for allowing me to share that, buddy. Y'all know I got a TS-940S Kenwood. Started out a long-term loan from Kent, and I was using it mainly on FT8, great radio. Well, I decided here a while back, and anyway, me and Kent made a deal. Now it's my radio, so I bought it off of him. And he's done aligned it and done it, and he says it's got a lifetime warranty with him on it. And I didn't want to bother him to take it back right now, but I decided to take it off FT8, put my 897 on FT8, and I got a digi-rig ordered for it. Shout out to Ham Radio 2.0 Jason and KV5SIX Vern for giving me a tip on that. So I put my 940 back on phone, like for our 10-meter group, me working HF here from the house. Well, this 940 is my kind of radio. It's all knobs and buttons, no menus. However, I've never had a radio with this many features on it. All the filtering it's got on it. Well, especially last night on 10 meters, I couldn't hardly hear these guys. They didn't sound right. I thought there's something wrong with the speaker. This thing is off frequency. Something's wrong. But little bird inside told me, you ain't never really read the manual and figured this radio out. Well, I got up 4 o'clock this morning. Guess I had on my mind. Woke up at 4, got me a cup of coffee, got in here, got my manual that I printed off, laid it in my lap, opened it up. I started on page 1, and I just started going through like I'd never set a radio up in my life, and I started setting this radio up, and I found my mistake. I had some filters set wrong. Radio sounds great. Got Jeff on the 10 meters this morning, and we got on this ground wave because we're about 35 miles apart, talk back and forth. His audio sounded just like it does on my 897. The radio works great. I had 2 of the filters set wrong on it because I didn't read the book. I just started twisting knobs thinking I knew everything. And that goes prove no matter how long you've been in this hobby, read the book. Have a manual, read the book. I don't care if you download it to a tablet. You younger people are used to using tablets. Jeff and myself aren't. We like to have, he's got several on a tablet, but he said when he's troubleshooting something, he'd rather have a book. That way he can post it, note it, make notes in it. And that's the same way with me. I'd rather have a printed copy of the book. So just letting you know, I'm going to try to give you guys advice. But if I make a mistake, I'm also big enough to admit when I make a mistake on advice I've given you guys. Feel silly now that because probably this filter might even affected my FT8 a little bit, but the older PSK adapter I was using was kind of getting a little glitchy, so I wanted to put this 897 on FT8. And the 940S back in the 80s when it come out is a contest grade radio. Y'all have heard me say I don't like the term starter radio, and I don't. I will never tell a ham you've bought a starter radio. I'll use terms like less features versus more features. My radios I've been used to using are what I consider less featured radios. The 701 I started out with, very basic. Even my 897, it's menu-based radio, Shack in the box, but I didn't order any extra filtering in it. So basically, it was a real easy radio for me to learn on. This one, I wasn't used to having all those extra filters, and if I'd read the book, I'd have known the difference in it. So, print off a book, or if you buy a new radio, keep up with your book. 3-ring binder is the best thing out there for putting this stuff in, especially the ones that's got the little pocket inside, because pamphlets you get with a talkie or an antenna really don't lend themselves to be actually put into a 3-ring binder. Put them in them pockets. Guys, I appreciate y'all listening to me. I like telling y'all these stories. And I told you this story so you understand anybody can make a mistake. And I'm willing to admit when I make a mistake. But the radio works great. I really enjoy operating these older radios. And you new guys that are looking to get on HF, and I know radios are expensive. I'm not going to sit there and tell you they're not. But there's some really good radios that are out there that are under $1,000. 891s, 718s. If you can find 718s new, I think you still can. I know you can find 891s under 1,000. Brand new radio. And there's several in the $1,000 range, 1,000 to 1,200 that are good radios. Well, if you don't want to spend that much money, go to a local ham fest, look around, We was at Mena this weekend. Look at that video I shot at Mena. You'll see lots of rigs for sale up there. The Cowtown Ham Fest I went to in January amazed me with the amount of 80s full transistorized rigs that they had out there. Only thing you need to remember on a lot of those early 80s rigs, they don't have built-in SWR protection. So you have to be sure that you don't run a chance of damaging your finals if you put a mismatched antenna on it. Well, guys, that's about all I can tell you on that story right there. I thought y'all would get a kick out of that. I appreciate Jeff and Kent for hooking me up with this thing. Jeff for helping me with a radio check this morning. And that's another good thing to think about when you're experimenting with antennas or a radio on HF. If you got somebody 30 miles away is a good range, 20 to 30 miles, use them for a radio check, especially when the band's dead. You won't have any extra noise. They get a good sound of your audio, and you get your signal strength report. And actually, we will sit there with our cell phones and shoot a 20-second video of them talking and send it back and forth so they can hear what the radio sound like. We did that last night for Jeff's 2-meter issues that we figured out what he was having problem with at Mena with the 2-meter all mode. So ham radio's a lot of fun. Experimenting is a big part of it, and learning your radio is a big part of it. Like I said, keeping up with manuals will help you in the long run if you read them. I made a mistake. Guys, we're at 1986. We're like 16 away from 2000. As soon as I break 2000, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Remember, Broken Circuit Ranch, Circle 6 mail drop links are in the description of the video. MRG Labs info is at the beginning of the video. Y'all sign up for MTC's mailing list. Keep abreast of all his coupon codes and sales. And if you call MTC to check on something and you heard about it here, be sure and tell them you heard about it on the channel. I just let them know it's working out for them. Appreciate all y'all like listening to me and Old Ham Radio Cat. And I enjoy once again talking to any of y'all that run into me at a ham fest. Please flag me down. And please don't take offense if we met before. I may not recognize you. I'm terrible with names. Just say, hey, big boy, and I guarantee you I'll stop talking to you. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy, 73.